Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Movie Bucket here on Screen Stealers. Hope you grabbed your popcorn, your soft drink, and maybe even a soft pretzel. It's time to talk about another movie, and this time it's what I'm very excited about. Uh, I'm Brooke, and I can fix that.
So sad.
Fix that. Why is it always "I love you" instead of "I can fix that"? That's the real question.
And hi, I'm River, and you know that any hole is a goal.
Absolutely. That is so true. And hola, I am Eduardo, and well, that's too damn bad. Keep digging.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
I knew someone was going to bring it up early. I went ahead and got that clip ready to go. So here we are. So, if you missed last week, the ending of our episode on Io Capitano, it is Brooke's birthday month this month means I get to pick all the movies. I'm special. And in a couple months, River will be special. And in a couple months after that, Eduardo will be special. So there you go. And I started off with a film that I have loved my entire life, essentially. And I just wanted to share the love with my friends. So we're talking about Holes from 2003, starring, including but not limited to Sigourney Weaver, Jon Voight, Patricia Arquette, Tim Blake Nelson. I remembered your name this time, King. There you go. Shia LaBeouf, Khleo Thomas, Eartha Kitt, Dule Hill, Scott Plank, Henry Winkler. It's a very large cast of people. Let's just put it that way. And a lot of them have a name. So on paper, this movie looks great, and on film, this movie is great. So yeah,
did it come out on? Is it a Disney movie?
It is a movie made by Disney, but it is not a Disney film, if that makes any sense.
Like Disney Channel, or is it not?
Yeah, it's not Disney Channel.
Okay.
Disney Channel doesn't have the budget for this.
Okay. Because I know that.
Have you seen Lemonade Mouth? They don't have the budget for this.
Girl, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Shout out Stella, my girl.
If it was a Disney Channel movie, it would just be filmed in someone's backyard. And there would just be a bunch of people just digging one giant hole in someone's backyard.
True. And they would just call it.
I mean, there were like a few like green screen moments that I was like, okay. And it was also 2003, it's fine. But like overall, the production was pretty good. Like the movie looks good.
Something I just want to point out really quick before we even get into the discussion on most of the cinematography, like the actual film. I love that they used actual lizards for any scene that an actual lizard could be filmed for. Like, obviously, when you have the lizard running on its back legs and being scary, that's not something you can really make a real lizard do. Or like when the lizard actually bites Kissing Kate Barlow, like that's not something you can like make a lizard do. But what you can do is have adorable little bearded dragons fill in the gaps for all of these other things. So yeah, they had 14 actor bearded dragons used across this film. Oh, spotted lizards. So shout out to the 14 actor bearded dragons in this film.
Absolutely.
Oh my!
Amazing
I hope
work.
they got paid.
I hope they got a lot of treats, whatever that is for them.
That would be like crickets and mealworms.
Sure.
Yay!
Yeah. Crickets and mealworms. So I've made it abundantly clear. This is a rewatch for me. This is a first watch for River and Eduardo, which kind of surprises me. Maybe it's just me. I feel like Disney Channel aired this all the time in like the late 2000s. But then also, I have to remember, well, Disney Channel Brazil has a very different airing schedule, I would assume. And I don't know what Disney... Is there a Disney Channel Mexico, or is it just U.S. Disney Channel? Like, I don't know. So
No, it is basically Disney Channel Mexico. They don't show the same movies that they show on the US. Like, I don't remember ever having seen anything about holes in Disney Channel Mexico. There was never an opportunity to even watch it. So I don't. It's very different here. It's very different, I guess.
Like, yeah, it's possible that it did air at some point, like on Disney Channel here, but I don't remember seeing it. But I do remember watching Even Stevens with, so like, I don't know. I feel like I would remember if I had seen it, this one especially. But I'm not even shocked that I haven't seen it. I am shocked that I've never heard of it before you talked about it, Brooke. Like, not once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm gagged.
Yeah, I had heard about it.
Yeah,
I had heard about it several times. Like, I had heard people talk about the onions, the sweet onions, and I had heard about people recreating the iconic meme of "I'm tired of this, Grandpa." Well, that's too damn bad. You keep digging. But that's all I really knew. I thought the movie was way different than it ended up actually being. I thought it was like. I think I got confused and thought this movie was The Goonies. So
Also a great
different.
film. Also a great film.
Yeah, great film, but I expected it to be like that and not the way that Holes is. So nice surprise anyways, but took me by surprise definitely.
Yeah. So one thing I want to touch on real quick is how they filmed this. Because the actual production of this, it was filmed in California almost entirely, but it was filmed in the actual California desert. They had 5 minutes between total before they were pulled out of the holes that they were shooting in and putting them under shade. This was filmed in the summer in California, so it was incredibly hot to the point that one of the trailers, which was Shia LaBeouf's trailer, which he shared with, let me see, who did he share it with? It was Jake Smith. He played Squid. They shared a trailer together. The fridge in that trailer got so damn hot that it exploded and blew up half the trailer. Like, I'm telling you, the fact that this film exists and got shot in these conditions is kind of whack. But at the same time, you feel the heat coming off the desert. So I can't get mad at the way it's shot being so well done.
It makes it realistic, but like a horrible process for the people involved.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to. I have watched this movie more times than I have watched most other films. I think I have watched this movie at least 20 to 25 times in my life, if not more. It's at least an annual tradition at this point, and most of the time it's more than once a year. And I don't know why, because in terms of, it's a good movie. Like, I don't think anybody's gonna say, yeah, Holes is bad, Holes is awful. I looked on Letterboxd. I think out of the like thousands of reviews it only has like 10 half-star reviews. So like, even the people that don't like it, there aren't that many of them. And a lot of them were just talking about having
it has a 3.6.
Yeah, 3.6, pretty solid,
good.
especially for a family movie. Yeah. Like, it's a pretty good score.
Yes, for a movie like this, it's good.
Yeah. But I honestly don't know what it is about this movie that makes me so entertained. I cannot possibly tell you. I can tell you my favorite part of this film, but we'll save that conversation for when someone else brings it up. I don't want to gush yet.
Okay. Well, my favorite, not necessarily my favorite scene. Well, actually, yes. Also, my favorite scene and my favorite part. My favorite. I think you know, if you know me. was Eartha Kitt as the fortune, like as a witch, basically. I'm just like, yeah, that's for me.
Yeah,
That was for me
iconic.
specifically. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time I saw Eartha Kitt in a movie where like that wasn't animated. This is the first time I actually saw her like on screen, and so that was really nice to finally like get to see her in her pure form, in appeared in like physical form instead of just in the voice of Yzma. But my favorite scene of this, I think, just I really liked all of the scenes with the the teacher and the I can fix that guy. I forget his name.
Sam.
Um, Sam. Between Sam and the teacher, I really liked all of those scenes. Uh, I did like when they do spoiler when they do kill Sam. I did feel like I got flashbacks to Redwood, to
Oh my
Rosewood.
God,
I got
yes.
flashbacks to Rosewood.
Rosewood. Hmm.
I was like, all the people are fighting.
And then the
There is
school,
a
like with the
riot.
burning, I'm like, oh, I've seen this
They're
before.
burning the school. They're
But
being
in a
racist.
kids movie?
This
In
was
a kids
crazy.
movie.
It was
Like,
crazy.
well, okay, I'll say a family movie because I mean, I know people
Yeah.
whose parents love this movie too. But for a family movie to show
Mhm.
that, wild.
Yes.
Yeah, I will say the old Green Lake sections of this film, when we're talking about like Sam and Catherine. Sam and Catherine are to this day my single favorite straight couple in any piece of media. Because you can tell how fucking in love with each other they both are. Like
Yeah.
it's like them and like Wesley and Buttercup and Princess Bride. Like those two couples love each other more than they can possibly say. And they don't need to tell each other that they love each other 25,000 times in the film. They just show it. And even if we only get them on screen as a couple for like 3 to 4 minutes in this entire movie, it is still so potent when you watch them interact with each other. The scene where she's reading Annabelle Lee to that child and he finishes the poem, right? And she
They
says,
finish each other's poems.
and she just says his name in the most, oh my God, this man is beautiful and perfect voice I have ever heard in my life. And I don't know if you all clocked it, but when she's crying and he comes in there and he says, I can fix that, she's reading Annabelle Lee. So she is literally crying, reading this poem because she's thinking about him,
Remembering, yeah.
but she can't be with him because racism.
Racism.
So, special shout out to Dule Hill because his part in this movie kind of gets glossed over by a lot of people. He does a phenomenal job playing Sam in this. I think he's incredible in this movie. He's also great in a lot of other things. He's a fantastic actor. But Patricia Arquette, I have words for you, Academy. Let's have a chat real quick, okay? So, I am not normally very picky when it comes to specific nominations for Academy Awards. I'm not. When outside of like Best Animated Feature, which I feel like I have every right to be.
Yeah.
I just want to go ahead and have a quick chat with you about Best Supporting Actress in 2004. Okay, let's just have a chat. So, Best Supporting Actress in 2004 is I say this with love, a weaker set of nominees for the time period. There was nothing that was like.
Can we have the name? Because I'm like locked in. Can I have the names?
So
Yes.
you have the winner was Kate Blanchett for The Aviator. You had Laura Linney for Kinsey. You had Virginia Madsen for Sideways. You have Sophie Okonedo for Hotel Rwanda. Absolutely deserved the nomination and honestly the win. And Natalie Portman for Closer. So I look at that lineup and I go, okay, having seen 4 of these films, I have not seen Kinsey, so I can't comment on that. But having seen the other 4 films, Patricia Arquette in Holes is better than 3 out of the 4 nominees.
Well, but you know they're not. I mean, I know you know.
You know.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know they're not gonna look at a movie like this and like it doesn't like the point is it doesn't really matter how good her performance was because of the movie that it was in. For them, not for me. For them.
This movie got praised when it came out. I know we keep on mentioning this is a family film. For a family film, the reviews this was getting absurdly good. We're talking about like Roger Ebert gave this 3.5 out of 4 stars, right? For a family movie. And you know, like it's 70-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, which again for the time period is pretty good. And with the cast being as big as it is, and you know the popularity of the book when this came out, there was a real possibility that something could have came out of this, whether it was even just a cinematography,
like an adapted screenplay or something
like that. Being nominated for anything, and quite frankly, I don't think, honestly, most of this movie doesn't deserve to get nominated for an Oscar. But I think Patricia Arquette should have gotten a nod here. I think she is incredible in this film. With one of my favorite arcs of any woman in any film ever.
Yeah. Okay, because I agree, but I do have one question, and maybe the movie told us that, and I didn't catch it, or maybe they didn't. I want to know, because I am on her side. Okay, I support women's rights, wrongs, and whatever. Okay, and she was, you know, that's the thing. Who was she killing? And what was the motive? Because I'm like, was she killing? Okay, well, men, but what type of men? Was she killing racists? Was she killing men that were like bothering women, like, you know, like harassing women, or like what? Or was it just not said? Like, so quote unquote bad guys.
So basically, she kills the sheriff, right? Out of revenge.
That was also one of my favorite.
And now that she's on the run, because she murdered a man, right? Regardless
not
of
just a man, the sheriff.
The sheriff.
Yeah.
Now that she's on the run, she's robbing and murdering other men to live.
What she needs to do, yeah.
Yeah. And I also love how Kate Barlow has kind of become a bit of a cult, like Western figure to my generation of people in the US, because I don't know what tons of people, if I go to them like, yo, how do you feel about kissing Kate Barlow? They're all gonna love her. They all love her. We all love her. And she's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
She is now, so fierce. Like her going back and like asking like, oh, do you still want that kiss? And then killing him and leaving a kiss, like a kiss on the cheek. I'm like, oh, that was so kind.
Iconic.
So iconic. And then when she was like, spoiler, on the boat before her demise, she like cursed the guy's family of like, you can dig however many years you want, you will never find it. And then she like let the lizard bite her. Like, that's so iconic.
I love how her last words are start digging. Like,
that's beautiful.
But something important I want to talk about though is we do have these other scenes get pulled into the movie from different time periods, from different places that all tie into the overall story. But because of how the screenplay is written, it is such a tight screenplay. Every single one of the scenes that we get feel necessary. They show us what's going on. They give us a lot of information. And even the things that don't feel as great, I'm going to say I don't really care for the jumps back to the Ildats family during the movie.
I was going to say,
that's probably the weakest
part. That was my one, like,
yeah.
That was my one, like, small criticism is, like, I like that they went back and forth. I like the flashbacks. But I feel like a few of them, it was just, like, the way that it was edited. I feel like it could have been edited a little different. But I like that they gave us a lot of story and, like, enough of the story to have, like, a full plot. I see one of the comments on Letterboxd, like, one of the top ones is, like, it's funny because the plot has none. Holes.
Yeah.
So like, and that's kind of how I feel. I just wish they would have given us the information in a slightly different order. That's all.
My only knock for this movie is that I don't understand why we couldn't have had the entire Old Green Lake segment before the kiss and the robbery portion as one scene, because
The way that they split it, yeah.
Yeah, they split it up into 3 different sections, and like it's not a problem in terms of like it existing and being there, like it makes sense. But I don't know, I feel like it's kind of punchier to just go from, oh, these 2 are cute. Oh my god, these 2 are adorable. I love them so. Oh my god, what the fuck? Like that, like just like that, because.
Like, keep me on the journey. Yeah.
You could make the entirety of the old Green Lake segment into a short film, and that movie would be incredible. Like, just watch the first segment with Sam and Catherine, Sam fixing the schoolhouse, Sam and Catherine kissing, Sam gets lynched, Sam kills the sheriff, Catherine kills the sheriff, as its own movie. That's a lovely short film. I would
even
love
the
that.
like other flashback, like the older flashback to what's his name starts with an E, the ancestor. Stanley's
Ilya and Lavia.
Yes, like that full story could also be like its own movie. Like just telling like that whole story and like him going to the U.S. and all of that and everything. Would be really interesting too if they wanted to do like a spinoff or something. There's 2 possible ones.
Yeah, they exist.
That's saying a lot.
If there was to be another spinoff, I would want it to be of a Madame Zeroni personally, but
100%.
Well, I will mention that last year actually there was a pilot that was produced for Disney Plus that was a gender swapped version of Holes. They filmed the pilot. And they passed on the series, so I don't know if it'll ever come back.
Because when it ends, they say like they turn it into a girls' camp, so it would be that. It would be that.
Yeah,
probably.
It had some interesting people involved, notably Greg Kinnear, who's in Little Miss Sunshine, and A.D. Bryant from Saturday Night Live was also involved in some capacity. So I don't know if it'll ever come back or what was really happened with it beyond Disney Plus just passed on it. We don't know. But it's an interesting thought experiment because to me, this is a movie that doesn't need anything else. This movie is doing its thing, living its best life, and it doesn't need anybody to tell it anything different.
That's true. That is very true.
But I would love, I know it's not possible, but like I would love a Madame Zeroni spinoff or something, but RIP.
Yeah. Speaking of, I wanted to talk about Ilya and the whole thing about how close he got to getting married and how the girl just said, I don't know, do I want to pick this beautiful man
that loves me or this thing? I don't know. Pick a number between 1 and 10. I'll choose. Girl, she pissed me off so much. I'm like, you are so stupid. What are you doing?
Then that's why I respected Ilya just going, just marry the other guy. If you're not gonna take this seriously, I'm just gonna go.
Girl.
But Ilya, you're also an idiot. You had one job. You carry Madame Zeroni up the mountain and sing while she drinks. So she can get
dare
stronger.
You forget Madame Zeroni
for always and eternity.
But honestly, like the fact that he accidentally, in a way, cursed his family because he forgot to do something is so real. Like that's so real to me because that would be me. Like,
yeah, that would be me too. I would absolutely forget to carry Madame Zeroni up the mountains and sing to her while she drinks.
By being rejected for like this guy, oh my god, like I would be so mad and be like, you know what, I'm gonna leave.
I'm gone. Goodbye.
I'm gone.
One thing that I really like is how they weave parts of the story in throughout the movie that doesn't make it feel forced, right? Because like we mentioned, these segments on their own are all compelling in a way that makes you want to keep watching them. And it's really fun because I can't really think of many other movies that when you have these like this many flashbacks, there's a lot of flashbacks in this movie.
Yeah.
I can't think of a movie where I've ever been like, oh, yay, all the flashbacks are great. I don't care. I'm having a great time every time it cuts to a new flashback. Because most of the time there's either a flashback you don't really care about or when you get through a flashback and it cuts to the main story, you're like, oh, I want to go back to the flashback. And like, there's almost always one you prefer. I don't really prefer any of them over the others. And I think that's because each segment doesn't overstay its welcome. And they're all so interwoven together that it's kind of hard to prefer any of them over any of the other ones.
Yeah, that
I
makes
think
sense.
they're all well written. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. As we've stated, all of them could be a short film all on their own. Like all of the flashbacks on their own could be their own little story, their own little short movie. But yeah, I will say I think there is a way to pick a favorite one because I definitely do have one. But I see your point. I see your point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is your favorite one?
Well, I just stated before, like
The couple. Okay.
The couple.
Sam and Kate.
Because they're perfect.
Sam and Kate. Because they're perfect. They're such a good couple. They're a beautiful couple. And like when he's fixing the schoolhouse, that's such a nice thing. And it's so cute. And I can fix that. Like I felt it. Like I was like, oh, I want that in
I
my
want
life.
that. Mm-hmm.
Like, fix me, fix it for me.
Yeah.
Fix me, choose me, love me.
Pick me, please pick me.
Truly.
Delta, love Delta.
I got that Grey's Anatomy reference this morning. That was cute. But we've touched on the two side quests a little bit. I think we should maybe delve into the main story. Because also just a really compelling story when you're having all of these, these young teenage actors. All of them were actual teenagers when this movie got shot. So thank you, Hollywood, for pulling a Degrassi on us. But most of these guys have never really done a movie. This was actually Shia LaBeouf's first major Hollywood film. Khleo Thomas, this was his first major Hollywood film, and they both did really well in this movie, alongside this entire cast of young teenage guys are all doing a really good job in this movie. Like, I buy every single one of them are real people. I want to give a special shout out though to Brendan Jefferson, who was X-Ray in this movie. He is just so great at every little thing he does. He is like effortlessly leading Detent the entire film, but at the same time, there's that little bit of like cold calculating menace behind him that makes you kind of like, what's going to happen with this guy? Because there is a little bit of that like, no, that maybe X-Ray's a little bit more. I mean, we know he's got that manipulative tendency and he has that ability to like control the situation with Detent. But you personally, every time I watch this, there's that little bit of the voice in the back of my head is like, we know that that Stanley's there for illegitimate reasons. Why are the rest of these boys here? What did they all do? And we find out a couple of them what they did, but we never found out what X-Ray did. And it's something I've always wondered. Why is X-Ray at Camp Green Lake?
And why is that his nickname?
Because it's Rex, and his real name is Rex, and it's X-Ray is Rex.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know I didn't remember the real name. Okay. Because like all of the other ones, they have like there's something that ties up the name, right? So I was wondering what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I still can't believe that one of them is called Armpit. That's still crazy.
I get why. I mean, that makes sense.
I understand, but
and then Pit for short.
Yeah.
I love that they have like a nickname for the nickname.
But still, like choosing and going so hard for being like, my name is Armpit. You need to call me Armpit is crazy to me. That is crazy.
Theodore who?
I am Armpit. I am Armpit.
Crazy.
I will say, as someone who has read the Holes book, there is a sequel book to Holes where Armpit is actually the main character in that book. So I'm not going to go into any further details about that, but you get a lot more insight into him and X-Ray as well. And if that were canon to this film, which, I mean, they never made the sequel into a movie, so it's not. But if it were, X-Ray did something very interesting to end up at Camp Green Lake. That's all I'm going to say.
God.
It's really great.
Okay.
But I love all of their performances. And then we get into Jon Voight, Sigourney Weaver, and Tim Blake Nelson, who are all, as much as I hate praising Jon Voight, they are all doing a really good job in this movie.
And I also hate praising Shia LaBeouf. I just want to personally make that clear. Fuck Shia LaBeouf, the person. You know, Stanley is cool, but
if only Shia LaBeouf had the personality.
I am so scared of Shia LaBeouf. He's so scary.
Yeah, well, I keep telling you, every time we talk about Shia LaBeouf, I just imagine the pepper mache head rising
and
up.
I hate him for ruining that for us.
Shia LaBeouf. Anyways, so we're talking about but yeah, Sigourney Weaver specifically for me was the standout out of the adult performers, obviously. Because I forgot that she was in this movie. So when they were talking about the warden, I was fully expecting a man to come out. And so I was pleasantly surprised.
I loved when she came out.
I was pleasantly surprised that like the one that's leading this whole thing was Sigourney Weaver, because as I said, that was not what I expected. When you hear warden, maybe it's because like I've seen so many like movies about jail, and the warden is always a man, so that's what I was expecting. And
kind of with the vibe that the other two men in charge were giving, I kind of was assuming that they were responding to also a man.
Yeah, but I love the fact that it is a woman, and the fact that she's also actually intimidating. Like it makes a lot of sense why she makes a lot of the choices that she does. And she, as I said, she is very intimidating. She knows how to like get what she wants. And she like, I would be afraid of her if I actually met her. Like Louise is fucking scary.
It's really interesting too, because Sigourney Weaver, you know, at the time she was a very, very well established actress.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be 100% honest with ourselves. Most people, if you know, when they were familiar with her from Alien and the franchise around it.
Yeah.
And she had done other things. She is in one of my favorite movies of all time, Galaxy Quest. But like when we're talking about at this time in her career, it was basically she has done some other projects. But if you know who Sigourney Weaver is, it's because you saw Alien.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe that Holes is now one of the movies she is most well known for. Which is, it's so crazy. She's not even in the first 30 minutes of this movie. Like she's not.
Yeah.
Like they take their time. You get time with Mr. Sir and Dr. Pendansky for the first 30 minutes of this film before she even shows up, before we even know anything major about her. And I love that her first scene is when, you know, they're looking at the lipstick tube, because we don't really get to see her inner character for a while. We just get to see her putting Dr. Pendansky into his place.
Yeah.
At first, you're kind of like, okay, she's kind of a baddie. I'm kind of here for this.
Yeah.
This is kind of cut. And then she goes back to, you know, takes X-Ray back to camp. We don't really hear much from her for a little bit. And then we get the scene with the fingernail polish, which is fucking cinema, by the way.
So good.
Iconic.
The way that he was so dramatic about it, like, first of all, Mr. Sir, I laughed. I laughed so much. Like at that beginning, I was just like, what?
Okay, sir, Mr.
Okay,
Sir.
Mr. Sir. Okay.
Whatever you want, Mr. Sir.
Okay, Mr. Sir. But yeah, the way that, like, when he was, because he fell on the floor and he was like this, and then he was like kicking his feet on the ground. I'm like, you're so dramatic.
And I love how when she puts the nail polish on. Also, I love that the nail polish is pink and purple. I don't know why, but that was like, okay, you ate for that. Because I think they very easily could have been like, this like bright red fingernail polish. Because that's like the stereotypical, like, you know, if you're going to be an evil villain, you have the red nail polish. But no, this pink and the purple, it kind of softens her a smidge.
It's
Yeah.
like glittery, you know, like
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking like it still like allows her to be like hyper femme. She's still a girl at the end of the day, and she
Mhm.
likes pink things. She likes pink nail polish, but she also likes to maybe murder people. So
So when she puts the nail polish on, and then she goes, "When it's dry," as she drags her hand across Stanley's face, right?
crazy.
I'm like, every time I'm like, like, oh my god.
Mm. Yeah.
Crazy.
But I want to mention who I think is actually the standout out of these three adult actors for me, Tim Blake Nelson. When he's acting in this movie, he's Dr. Pendanski. Every time this man opens his mouth, I want to kill him. I want to murder him. He is, and at first you kind of get the vibe
Especially
that
when he was talking to Zero, like, oh my god,
It
oh
was
Yeah.
crazy.
See, we'll get
I
there.
wanna fight.
But I want to specifically mention when he's having these conversations with the other boys. At first, it's kind of just like maybe he's just a little bit too uptight, right? It's just the only real vibe you get. But it does seem at first like he does genuinely care about these kids. And then he starts talking about Zero. And like the scene where they're all, when Stanley's first getting into the tent, and he goes, "This is Zero. You know why they call him Zero? Because there's nothing going on in his head." Gag every time. Because it just happens. It just happens.
It's the way that he's treated, and okay, I wrote down. I remember, because he started speaking with Stanley right when he heard about like the shoe and everything, whatever. And then he was talking to Stanley, and he was like, "Well, people think I'm stupid, but I'm not. I just don't like answering stupid questions." And I'm like, "That's so real. That is real as fuck."
Iconic.
Love him for that.
Yeah, Zero is absolutely iconic in this movie. You would think that with someone that digs holes that are 5 feet by 5 feet in 5 minutes, you would think that he would get a little more respect out of these people, but he really doesn't. Truly, like when Zero does eventually like run away, that scene made my blood boil. The way that Dr. Pendanski was talking to him, it was crazy. And as you said, Brooke, I had a whole roller coaster of emotions with him. Because you said it at the beginning, you think like he actually cares, and I was like, oh, finally, I'm gonna like this character. This is gonna be good. And then he starts treating Zero like shit, and I'm like, okay, you can go fuck yourself. I hate you. It was crazy. It was genuinely crazy.
But when he was hit in the head with a shovel, I laughed. I clapped.
I felt just like Stanley. I was just like, run, Zero, run away.
And that also just goes to show you how good Khleo Thomas does in this movie. Because you wouldn't care about this kid if he wasn't doing a really good job in his scenes. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when they're after Stanley's ran off and they're under the boat just talking for 3 minutes. Because you get why Stanley's like, we need to go back to camp. We're gonna fucking die. Like, that's just what it is. We are going to die of thirst. We are going to lose all of our water and become buzzard food. We need to go back to camp. Whatever the consequences are, let's deal with it. They have water. That is all that matters. Because he was like, no, fuck that. I would rather die than go back to that stupid place. Yeah, real. I understand.
Understandable.
And then, of course, you have the scene on top of God's thumb when all of the pieces seem to have came together by that point, where the whole Kate Barlow thing makes sense. We've known it's been Green Lake the entire time, but Kate robbing a guy on the desert of Green Lake makes this whole picture come together in this full circle. That kind of just ties every little bit of this movie into a lovely bow. I think that scene really adds a lot to it. And of course, you have the onions into the scene with the treasure chest at the end, which also I love how this movie just kind of ends. I know I was literally talking last week about how Io Capitano did the same thing and I didn't like it. But
But it didn't just end though. It wasn't like I felt like it was that like 2-3 minutes after the kind of end of the story, right? Like the climax, kind of like where you figure everything out, like they close the thing. And they gave us the like what happened after, like that small 2-3 minute scene of like a little bit of what happened after, and like the they lived happily ever after kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't mean it just ended in the fact like it's the end of the story and then suddenly it's credits, but I mean like I love how they just make the climax just kind of happens, right? Like there's very little motivating factor to say, okay, here's where the climax is going to go, right? But it's just they go back to the camp. They go back to the hole where Stanley found the lipstick tube to begin with, and they just start digging. And it just kind of comes. Stanley's like, you want to go back and, you know, let's go find the treasure chest, pretty much. And I love how this entire thing is only made possible because Stanley tells X-Ray to use the tube the next day, so they're digging in a different spot. Because had he not done that, they would have found the chest. Like it just
they would have looked, because they would have looked in the hole that he actually found it, and then they would have.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I was thinking about it because, you know, the whole movie, Stanley says that, like, he has no luck. His whole family has no luck. But when you think about it, he had to get pretty lucky for things to go right when it comes to Camp Green Lake. Like, he had to be in the right spot, in the right hole, find the lipstick, give it to Rex. Rex had to use it the next day so that they wouldn't dig in his own hole, so that they wouldn't find the treasure chest. Like, so much had to go right for him, so that they wouldn't find the hole. So it's crazy that he keeps saying that he has no luck, when in reality, he got actually pretty lucky.
The thing is, he was unlucky, because I agree. The only thing is he was unlucky with the situation that got him there. But after he was there, like, that's the one thing. But then after he got there, he was like in a horrible situation, in a horrible place. But in that situation, he actually was luckier than everyone else in the same situation as him, you know? So I agree. Yeah. It's kind of like showing that it really is about perspective, because like, yes, you were unlucky to be there, but then everything that could have gone right kind of did.
Yeah.
Not exactly like perfectly, you know, like he had to give the bullet to someone else. Like, he couldn't get the day off. But then not being able to get the day off for himself actually ended up being better than if he got that. So kind of like, even when he thought he was losing, he was kind of winning in a way. So
kind of crazy.
And one of my favorite parts of the movie, because we didn't really touch on that specifically yet, is just the friendship that happens, the whole relationship between Stanley and Zero. Like, that is friendship goals, like the way that it happens with like slowly, and you know, they kind of start trusting each other, and you know, and then he first rejects Zero's like asking him to teach him how to read, and then like how and why he comes back and like changes his mind, and like like just everything, like their whole journey of their friendship is just really, really good, like really well done. And one of my favorite parts is like I love the friendship. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's just really, there's a lot of good stuff in this movie. It's kind of hard to talk about everything great about this movie. The only plot hole I have managed to find in this film, all right, for myself personally, is, okay, so Zero got busted for stealing a pair of shoes from a Payless the day after Stanley got caught with the Clyde Livingston shoes, right? So we go from these two things, they happen one day before the next one, right? But it does seem like Zero has been at Camp Green Lake for a decently long period of time by the time Stanley gets there, which is the only like...
No, but maybe we're gonna say the same thing.
Okay.
But Zero didn't have parents, so he went straight to the camp. Yeah. And then Stanley, he went to, like, he had a hearing before, like he did the whole thing with the judge. So technically, he probably did get taken to the camp after Zero.
It's
in
not
the
that
time.
Stanley got there after him. It's that by the time Stanley
The amount of
gets
time?
there, like we don't know the amount of time because it's never made clear. But it just seems like Zero's been there for a bit. Like, but to be fair, it seems like X-Ray's been there his entire life, and he's only been there for 6 months. So I mean, you never really know with these guys.
Yeah. And also, let's remember that like a trial takes a while. It takes a while to actually get a trial going. And first of all, the fact that this case went to a trial is crazy. It's crazy that we went to trial because of some stolen shoes, quote unquote. Crazy in and of itself. But then again, as I said, a trial can take a while. It could even take years. So it is possible that, Zero went into Camp Green Lake the day after he got caught from stealing the shoes. And then like a whole, I don't know how many months happened. A month or two happened with the hearing and with the trial. And then that's when Stanley went into Camp Green Lake. It makes sense in my brain. Why?
Yeah. We are not allowing you to find the plot hole. It's just not there.
I mean, I respect the hustle. And you know what? You defending my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies to me, I'm not
changing my score. However, I am not. You know what? I'm standing my ground.
Yet. Can you imagine River just when it comes to scores, River just goes, "It's a 1-star for me."
You know, I'm gonna change it down. Okay.
Just to piss y'all off.
Gonna remove half
it down, even though she's not on antibiotics. But I want to also just go ahead and say the only knock I have on this movie, like an actual knock, I don't think the soundtrack has aged particularly well. I will say I don't hate the score. I like the score. I do not care
the songs,
the soundtrack. Now I will say, did the end credits rap song go triple platinum in my car when I was a child? Absolutely. I'm not even gonna cap. It definitely did. But has it aged particularly well?
That's a different story.
That's a different story.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard better. I've also heard worse. So it's not bad enough for me to really be like, oh, I hate it here. It's just like, I did notice it, which I think we literally said it last episode. Well, it's bad enough for me to notice it, which means it is a little bit of a problem, unfortunately, but not bad enough for me to really lower the score of this movie. So...
The one thing that I was questioning a little bit was like, why did the warden have cameras where the boys shower?
She did.
That was weird to me.
She didn't.
She didn't? Okay. Because they said like she has cameras and microphones and whatever. I'm like, where? Why are you watching? Like, I was like, but then it wasn't that. Okay.
Yeah, the vibe I've always got from the movie is one, Zigzag is paranoid as crap. That's his entire thing. So she doesn't actually have those. 2, we would have seen them if she did. And 3, I honestly think she only knew who he was because 1, she runs the camp. It's kind of her job to. And 2, Pendansky and Mr. Sir interact with these kids so much. I'm assuming that they've probably mentioned it at least.
I mean, maybe she has like a camera like in the main places, like the dining room or something, to kind of like,
yeah, that's possible.
But okay.
I think that
was on me. I'm like, I'm not okay. No.
Yeah, we're not dealing with a woman that is into teenage boys. We are not doing that. This is not that kind of movie. We're not watching Lolita.
But I did think it was weird that when Stanley got to the camp, like he had to change, like undress and change like in front of the 2 men. I'm like,
yeah, but it's not.
That was just a little side eye. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but to me, I don't bat an eye at that because it's not like they're looking, like Mr. Sir's back is still
No. I don't mean like with the characters. I just mean like why did? Because I'm thinking of some of the things that Shia LaBeouf has said about his time as a child star or whatever, And I'm like, was the director being weird with that? Like, not the characters. I'm thinking like with the way that it was filmed. Like, why did they have him do that? That's not necessary for the film. We didn't need to see him changing. That's my point. But that's a very small thing. I'm like,
this is Andrew Davis. He's made other movies like The Fugitive. Like he has a pretty good track record, all things considered, for directing. He hasn't done much since Holes. He only has done 2 other movies, and one of those is a documentary. He's largely retired now. He's older. But I haven't heard anything about him having any.
I mean, I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying, like, I thought that was a little weird, but that's it.
Understandable.
I'm like, nah, we didn't need that. That's all.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Fine. I'm not saying anything necessarily.
Yeah.
I was just like, I didn't need to see that. But
yeah,
it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. Whatever.
It's fine. Whatever.
So I want to ask though, because I think this is something that we haven't really touched on, is the actual ending of this film. How do you all feel about Zero hiring the private investigators to find his mom? Because I have heard from people that don't care for that.
I thought it was really cute. I thought it was really cute that, like, he find his mom and his mom had been looking for him. Like, I didn't see anything particularly like bad about it or like that bothered me about it. So I thought it was cute.
I loved it. I thought it was like, because we end with like they find the treasure, and then when they're opening it, Zero is still like with Stanley's family and everything. And then Stanley is like, this I love. He's like, okay, half of it is Zero. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you get half. Love that. And like when you're a kid and you have all this money, like after you buy the things that you want, like the material things you want, what else do you want? A family. Like what else does a child that can buy anything they want? What else do they want? You know what I mean? And he didn't, like, we don't really know why and what happened to his mom and why she didn't show up that day, like what happened specifically. So I assume that something happened to her that was out of her control, that she couldn't get to him. I'm not saying it wasn't like her fault, whatever. Maybe it was substance use, or she was arrested, or like something happened and whatever. And then they never found each other again, which to me would make sense because they said that she was also looking for him. So I'm thinking, like, if you willingly abandon a child, it's less likely that you're going to go look for them after. It does happen, but like it would be less likely. So I'm assuming that she, it wasn't her fault. So I like that. That was a great way to end.
I have just heard the critique in the past that it seems a bit idealistic, and like it's a family movie.
Like not everything.
This is not Aronofsky. Like, hello, girl. What do you say?
Like, are we gonna complain about this not being realistic? But we're not gonna complain about the lizards that don't exist, that bite people and kill people,
or the fucking curse. Or sorry, the multiple curses that exist in this film.
Right?
Like,
I'm sorry.
I can deal with curses and fake, like, deadly lizards, but I draw the line at a happy ending for a POC character. How dare you?
Real.
Right.
And also, I will say, I do like how diverse this cast of kids is. I think it could have been really easy to white up this cast. There are a ton of child actors out in Hollywood that you could throw into this that would, probably even do good jobs in these roles. But I do like that. I mean, this group of kids is really racially diverse. It's really nice.
And not just that, but like height, weight, age. Like they were very like. It looked like a diverse group in many different ways.
They looked like an actual realistic group of kids.
Yeah.
What do you like? It's crazy.
Yes.
Like if you, I could see them like going outside of their middle school, like leaving school, all of them together. Like I could fully see it, and
Yeah.
that works.
So I should mention the only real piece of controversy that this movie has when it comes to being an adaptation. It is commonly considered one of the most faithful book to film adaptations ever, based on the people who have read the book. As someone who has read the book, I would agree. However, the big thing is that in the book, Stanley is overweight, and that's like a massive part of his character. And they decided for the film to scrap that because they didn't know a realistic way to shoot it. To be honest, just don't cast Shia LaBeouf. That's just the real tea. Don't cast Shia LaBeouf. You could find another actor. Or if you really want to be troubling, you could have just put him in a suit. I mean, you've done it before, Hollywood. I wouldn't be the first time or the last time. I'm looking at you, 2021 remake of Matilda. I'm looking at you.
I forgot about that.
Go watch the 2021 version of Matilda, the musical, or 2022. I don't remember which year, but the musical version of Matilda. And look at the kid who is playing Bruce. Look at his body, and then look at his legs. And you cannot tell me that they did not put this child into a basket, because they did.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It has pissed me off for years.
I just had a flashback. I saw white, like my brain just went into another dimension.
Matilda, coming later. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But that was me.
Oh, you know what? I was looking at my notes, and one of the scenes that I love that I haven't mentioned yet is towards the end when they're still like in the camp, but they're about to leave. And like the whole the people in the camp and whatever, they're like being investigated, arrested, all of that. And then the warden goes to Stanley and she's like, "Oh, can you please just open the treasure so I can just see what's inside?" And he's like, he didn't say that, but he was like, he gave her a look like, "Fuck no."
Excuse
Fuck no.
me? Shut
and I was like, I love
bitch.
it. Don't give her anything, bitch. Yes.
Yeah.
No, you can't see what's inside. What do you mean? Bitch.
I also love that it starts raining, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like the curse is broken, kind of, because that was the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
that was what I was gonna mention. I feel like there's 3 curses in this movie. We see 2 of them, right? Kate Barlow, you were gonna dig for 100 years, and you and your children's children will never find it. Then, of course, the family curse that's on the Yelnats man. But I kind of think the universe cursed Green Lake after they shot Sam. That's just
that was the other one. Because she mentioned it. Kate says, like, before she curses them with the digging thing, she said, or I don't know if she says, but we know that the movie says that it stopped raining. Like, it never rained after Sam's murder. So it's kind of like
Linda, the Trout's wife that married him for his money, and it's all dried up now.
Well,
you can't tell that I've watched this movie far too many times, can you?
not at all.
Yeah.
Haven't noticed.
So, as I do feel like we are winding down.
Jazzy.
The Alexis Michelle, but
Jazzy.
With a C. Oh wait, we have the sound clip still.
It's Liza with a Z. It has a Z. Liza with a Z. With a Z, bro. Yeah, Liza with a Z.
The little laugh. I live.
Kicking.
We need to watch another Liza movie so I have an actual reason to put that clip in here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So as we are wrapping up, I would like to go ahead and post the floor. Does anybody have any final thoughts to add before we go to spoilers?
Just one thing. Naming your food spray sploosh is crazy. That
Oh my god.
was crazy.
That was camp.
Sploosh. That's crazy. I would not buy sploosh. Like, that's just a bad name
That's
for
terrible name.
any brand. Terrible name.
Terrible name.
Terrible name.
Terrible.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say. The bad marketing decisions that this family made. That's all I wanted to say.
I do also like that Stanley breaks the curse by carrying Zero up a different mountain.
Yeah.
I wondered why he's okay. Maybe this is just me, and this is something I've always wondered. I wonder what possessed him to start singing the song while he was just lying there on the ground as Zero is like getting his fill of the water. Maybe he was just delirious, and quite honestly, I don't blame him. But it's something I've always got because he didn't even know. I don't think he knew Hector's last name at the time. No, he did. He did. But I just think it's funny. That's all.
Yeah.
So, if everybody has said their piece, we will now move into scores. I will go first since this is my movie. Duh.
Wow, what a shock.
well,
This is shocking.
well,
I'm shocked.
I will say, not every
Yeah.
movie that I'm doing this month is going to be a 5-star, but considering this is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, yeah, duh.
Makes sense.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
River.
So I really enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would. I did mention that my biggest, I guess, negative was the editing of the flashbacks, the order of it, and all of that. But overall, this was a great film, and I gave it 4 out of 5.
Still a very good score.
Very good. Yes.
Still a very good score.
Eduardo.
Yes. I really like this movie. I think there is a lot to like here. As we've stated, though, there are some slight little issues here, but I do think the pros outweigh the cons here. So I did somewhere in the middle, and I did a 4.5 out of 5.
Which means we average out to 4.5 out of 5. Huh? We do that a lot, don't we? Yeah, I'm just very happy that we are all on the same page regarding this film. It is a lovely experience. If you would like to go watch Holes, it is available for streaming in the United States on Disney Plus, as well as available for rent on YouTube, Fandango, Vubi, and anywhere you're looking for films that is rentable. So now that we've moved through Holes, it's now time for my next choice this month.
What might it be?
Well, that's a very good question. I'm so happy you asked, River. Thank you so much. So I wanted to do something we have yet to do on this podcast, which is a bit surprising. We haven't done one in 3 months. It'll be 3 months at time of filming. Since we have done a musical. We haven't done one since we did Cabaret, so it's been a minute, all the way back when we did Cabaret. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, though. I didn't want to do another like over the top Fosse style musical. As much as I love you, Fosse, I'm sorry. We'll do Chicago at some point. Don't you worry about that. But when I was thinking about what I wanted to do, I wanted to take a musical that had actors I love, that had music that I mostly like, and overall was my obsession when it came out. So I am going with Tick, Tick, Boom from 2021.
Right.
Starring, including but not limited to, Andrew Garfield, Robin DeJesus, Alexandra Shipp, Joshua Henry, Vanessa Hudgens, Michaela J. Rodriguez, Bradley Whitford in a cameo role as Stephen Sondheim. I really love this movie. It has a really great soundtrack, and I'm really excited to become obsessed with therapy again for another year. So, well, it'll be
I'm excited to see what this is.
What?
I'm excited to see what this is because I remember when it came out, I heard a lot about it. I never seen it, but I remember just it was a moment when it came out. So I'm excited to watch this one.
Yeah, it's important to remember that when this came out, this did come out in 2021. This did manage to get two Academy Award nominations, including a Best Actor nod for Andrew Garfield. So, which he should have won. But beside the point, we'll talk about it more next week. But until then, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here today. But unfortunately, we have run out of popcorn, drank all of our soda, and no one ever has more than one soft pretzel. So we will see you all next week to talk about Tick Tick Boom. But until then, thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.